That's just a teaser, but man, it's coming, boys. Hey there, friends and enemies. JoPaWrites here once again, and today I just want to show you what's new in Destiny 2 this week. A lot of subtle things that are definitely happening that are leading into next season, which happens 1 week from today, and also is going to lead into the fall expansion as well with the darkness. These things have me very excited and hopeful that what we see with the narrative and with the world of Destiny is going to be changing going forward, and that has me really excited. And if you enjoy the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. It helps support me quite a bit. Drop by twitch.tv/JoPaWrites. I do play Destiny quite a bit on there, but I'm going to jump into it now. And you just saw the cutscene that happened. It's very subtle, very slight, but it's definitely intriguing because we see our first actual vision of a ship in motion with one of those Dorito ships, triangle ships it's called. But our first like real hint of the darkness and that it's here. We've seen in the bunkers that they're coming all throughout the season, and it's crazy to think after 6 years of Destiny, we're finally going to hit the darkness. Now, I'm going to tell you why this has me really looking forward to things. For the first time, we're seeing some evolution of the game in a way that we haven't seen in some time. During like House of Wolves in Destiny 1, we saw some enemies pop up throughout the solar system and lead into the next big expansion. And I believe next season is going to be a lot of this, a lot of hints of the darkness and danger and problems that we're facing, gearing up to face them full force once the September or fall expansion actually fully hits. Bungie has previously commented that season 11 is where it all comes together and things really take a radical shift. And I believe that, as has been speculated by other people, we are going to see what was supposed to be Destiny 3 repurposed, and that's why this DLC is going to be bigger than Shadowkeep, probably as large as something like Forsaken. I don't want to overhype or get my hopes up too much, but that's really what I feel like is happening here. I can't see any possible way they introduce the darkness and it isn't some full-blown crazy hoopla of a deal. I just can't. You're already seeing it here. For those of you unfamiliar, there was what was released today, the cutscene, this ambient sound that you can hear on IO that was teased in a post on Twitter with just the sound. Obviously, very spooky stuff. Now, looking forward to that and seeing what's going to happen, I'm going to speculate on how I think things are going to change and what I think the seasons are going to look like for the next 2 seasons as we go into the fall. Again, a lot of this is just speculation. Some of it is hinted by something that was accidentally released on Destiny the Game's Instagram post. If you don't want spoilers, I'll give you a second to cut out now. I'm going to talk about that briefly and why it kind of lends credence to a lot of the things that are going on. All right, still tuning in? Not afraid of spoilers? Okay, so that showed Eris Morn traversing snow-stepped kind of mountains, and it very strongly suggests we're going to Europa, judging from that and then previous concept art that wasn't for the game that wasn't released. Europa is a very prominent location in the Destiny universe as far as the lore goes. So seeing that location and having a brand new place to fight the enemy would make a lot of sense. I know a lot of people were speculating we might actually go on one of the Dorito ships like we did the Dreadnought. I don't think they would completely rehash something like that. I believe that we're going to go to a planet and it's going to be a ground war, and that's where we're going to fight. Next season, we've seen, so the narrative so far has all led to this. Shadowkeep into Osiris. The first season where we had Osiris setting up Vex Gates and then rescuing Saint 14, and then leading into the Trials of Osiris and Awakening and Rasputin. Now is when we're going to really see all of that tied together. Rasputin is helping us. Osiris is going to be involved. Eris Morn from Shadowkeep is going to be involved. All the things that have happened are kind of culminating, and that's something we haven't seen in a Destiny story in far, far too long. I hope it goes even further than that, and that at the end of the campaign or the DLC when that comes in the fall, the raid boss is highly connected to the actual events of the DLC, because that's something that I think sometimes Destiny gets away from, and it makes the raid bosses less impactful if they're just some random enemy that we find and that we fight. Now, some other things that I'm kind of looking forward to. Again, I believe next season we're going to see some hints of the darkness and a bit of back and forth. We're going to see some destruction. That's one thing I can absolutely say will probably happen. Whether it's a planet getting destroyed, whether it's a tower getting annihilated. Again, we got some new words from Anna Bray. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys read that as well as I'm talking. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy to think about that. That's all kind of happening at one time, and next season is going to be the culmination. Now, is it easy to overhype all of this? Yes. I think there's a very real danger that things are going to not be as grand as we might make up in our head, and that's understandable. My opinion, though, is that they wouldn't have hyped this up. They wouldn't be bringing the darkness out. They wouldn't have said this was going to be the culmination if they weren't going to do some crazy large things. Season 11 is going to be a grand shift in the way they tell their stories, and I believe that wholeheartedly. We've seen with Forsaken that they are, when things are kind of at its lowest with Destiny, they're able to bounce back and do amazing things, and that's something that I don't think they get enough credit for. Ongoing games like this are always going to have dips. They're always going to have high points, but the high points in Destiny are better than in most games that I've ever played, and that's definitely saying something. All right, speculation. I think next season, something the tower gets blasted, whether it's by the Almighty or something else. Rasputin kind of destroys something, but it doesn't go as we expect. I think we're going to try to gain some power to fight the darkness, but it's going to backfire. Maybe we see allies with the Fallen. Maybe we try to recreate Morn, but we are going to see devastation in the Destiny universe, the likes of which we haven't seen since the base Destiny 2 campaign when the tower was attacked. Are characters going to die? I think so. I think it only makes sense for another major character, maybe not of the magnitude of Cade, but someone like Osiris potentially is going to bite the bullet, sacrifice himself. He did all this to bring Saint 14 back. He set the Guardians up for the future. Now he might give his life in order to protect the world. He's at odds with Rasputin's way of thinking as well. It may be Rasputin that causes the downfall after all the lore we've talked about with Fellwinter and how that's gone down. So yeah, I mean, pure speculation, but what I see is next season being a build-up to the darkness with a strong focus on the destruction that we are trying to prevent and a strong focus on the destruction that actually happens. Whatever the case may be, I think it's fair to assume that Destiny fans should be excited about the future of the game. It's taken a while to get to where Bungie, I think, is comfortable with what they're doing, but I, for one, am very excited to see how this all goes down, where the story goes, who survives, who doesn't. And the last thing I'll say is, if you're expecting darkness classes, I wouldn't necessarily assume that's going to happen. But considering they were possibly repurposing this from Destiny 3, maybe there's some additional classes or some additional abilities that we do get, because I think that would be an absolute game changer as well. As always, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe down below. My name is JoPaWrites. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm very excited about the future of Destiny, and I think you should be too. Let me know what you think down below, and I will catch you guys later.